Hello, my name is Julio Valdez, and we are Group 2. Our final presentation is on autonomous driving, more specifically computer vision / object detection. A little background. In simple terms, computer vision is the field of computer science that focuses on creating digital systems that can process, analyze, and make sense of visual data in the same way that humans do. This concept is based off of teaching computers to process an image and understand it, and has a lot of similarities to human vision. For example, us humans use our eyes to sense objects in our surroundings, and then our brain interprets this image in order to reach a conclusion. Instead of a simple object, computers use image or video as input. Their sensing device could be a camera or a sensor, and their interpreting device is the computer or program that processes the input. We'll be focusing on object detection. This is a computer vision technique for locating instances of objects in images or videos. It is one of the fundamental problems of computer vision and forms the basis of many other tasks, such as instance segmentation, image captioning, and object tracking. Some object detection algorithms include convolutional neural networks, RCNN, or region-based convolutional networks, fast RCNN, and YOLO, you only look once. Here are two examples of object detection. On the right shows a picture of simple objects, and on the left something more related to autonomous driving, since there are cars, there's a truck, traffic light, and a cyclist being detected. The first method explored is real-time lane detection using OpenCV. Lane detection is a crucial subproblem of autonomous driving. This method divides the task into a few steps to correctly identify a lane in real time and calculate the curvature of the lane and also the position of the car with respect to the center of the lane. It takes an input image and applies thresholding, which is basically replacing each pixel in the image with a white pixel or black pixel. This is done to make lane detection easier. It then applies a perspective transformation to get a bird's eye view of the binary image. This is done to make the lane's estimation lines parallel and ease the calculation of the radius of the curvature of the line. So it takes this trapezoid and basically turns it into a rectangle for easier calculations. The white pixels that differ are assumed to be lanes, and sliding windows are set to create virtual lanes down here. The method then fills these two virtual lanes for the output and calculates the lane line curvature and position of the car with respect to the center of the lane. So now for a quick demonstration, I will be using a default image provided by the author first. So with the program, all I have to type is python lane.py, and then two images are created. So here is the image after thresholding, and then here is the image, the final image. As you can see, it calculates the curve radius and the center offset. Now, for a separate image, I looked up this image online of a highway. And one of the downsides to this method is that you have to calculate the focus, or what you want the program to focus in. So here I have to change these settings. So this is for the highway image. And then if I run this program again, here's a different image with the thresholding applied, and then also the trapezoid had to be different for this lane.
Now I'm going to be talking about the traffic cone detection for autonomous driving. Traffic cone detection is going to be very important when it comes to autonomous driving while driving in, areas that are being constructed or changed or fixed, because cones will be there. So the AI needs to understand how to deal with them. As you see here, there are different driving conditions of sunny, rainy, low light, and cloudy. Just to show that it's not going to be perfect sunny all the time for the AI. You also see the square boxes. This is the AI identifying the cones, and it also is identifying the color of cones. The way it does this is by making these points, as you see here, on the cone, which then makes it recognize that this is a cone that needs to be witnessed. To start off, I have linked the source of the cone detection software to the original GitHub right here if you want to go check it out. To start off with this project, you will want to have Anaconda installed, which you can go to the website right here and install it from their main website. Once it loads, you'll install right here. You'll also need OpenCV Python and TensorFlow to get this program running correctly. Once you've installed Anaconda, you'll want to navigate to the Anaconda Navigator. From here, there's different IDEs that you can use to open up different projects, but for this project, we're going to be using Spider. Spider is going to be the IDE that we're going to be using. Once you have Spider open, you can see it right here. I already have the files loaded in, but you'll be greeted with a blank slate here with no files loaded in. This will be empty. Once you do that, you'll just click File and then Open, and the file you want to open from this repository is going to be the cone detection.py file. This is going to be the main driving file for the program. This program takes in a video that is going to be in our test data folder from the repo right here. In this video, I'll show it real quick. It looks like this. As you see, there's no AI cone detection right now. It's just, you know what I mean, different cones right here, but not yet identified by the AI. You can change this video to a different type of video if you want to by changing this video path variable and then changing this file path to the correct file path of the custom video that you want to do. Once you run the program, you're going to be greeted by a small pop-up window that will be showing the AI in action. So let's just run that. You'll click the run button here and give it a few seconds. And as you see, you're greeted with a video of the detection results from the AI. As you see, it's detecting the different color of cones and the distance from the cones based off the video that I showed you in the test data folder. Once it's done, it will automatically close itself. And just to show, this is what it looked like beforehand. And then this is what it looks like while running. As you see, it is detecting the different color of cones as well as the percentage of how likely they are to cones. Thank you.
So for this part of the project, we'll go over object tracking using simple sort as well as deep sort. So deep sort is an extension of simple sort, which stands for simple online real-time tracking, which tracks and identifies objects on the basis of velocity as well as the appearance of the object. So with the YOLO v3 detection model, deep sort uses deep convolutional neural networks to perform object detection. And here in this chart, we have a quick overview of the sequence used by deep sort. So we start off with the data, which of course is video and its multiple frames. So the main part or the main focus of the YOLO v3 algorithm is to detect and crop the objects that are found within the image. So from this point on, we move on to the Kalman filters, which a summary of that is basically Kalman filters work to create a prediction of what the possible future locations of the object would be, and this actually returns a possibility distribution for these objects. And again, one of the difficult parts of object tracking is that not only is it's multiple objects that are being tracked, but also these objects have to be uniquely identified as they move throughout the multiple frames. So this is where these calculations are done using the deep appearance descriptor algorithm, and the unique identifiers of each object as they move through the sequence is done through the Hungarian assignment. So here we have some of the papers and sources that we used for going over deep sort, and as well as exploring these algorithms that were mentioned previously. And this is the GitHub repository for where these tests were done.
Next, we have traffic light detection and 3D object detection. This procedure is broken down into two phases, an offline phase for creating the map and annotating the traffic lights, and an online phase for recognizing the traffic lights and selecting the appropriate ones based on the expected location of the traffic light represented by the orange circle in the figure on the side over here and here. So basically, we're going to detect the traffic lights, and then with the use of prior maps, we're going to see like where the position of each traffic light is going to be, just so we can rule out all the false positives. As we can see, the green ones on the side here are not going to be counted for, but the ones inside this yellow circle will be. Next, I'm going to cut to the method of traffic light detection. Today I'm presenting traffic light detection using TensorFlow. This is my source here for the code, and on my GitHub I have all the files, all the code necessary for this project. Here's the prerequisites and the setup. This is taken directly from this source, and I just put it here to install Miniconda and required stuff. So first of all, these are the two files that we need for this, which are provided here. And I place them in a directory called traffic light, and then what we need also is two folders. One is traffic light input, and this is where we're going to put the images that we want to scan for the data set. And then another folder called traffic light cropped. After I run this command on Anaconda, this is going to take all of the files that I put here from the dataset, at the input. And this will generate cropped images of traffic lights, or something that it detects to be traffic lights. As we can see, this is an example from some of the pictures. This also, some of them are faulty, like you can see some signs or whatever, but the next step is gonna determine what's considered a traffic light and such. So let me just run this command. And I'll cut to when it's done. All right, here it's done. It detected 3,505 traffic lights. And as I've shown you before, this is the traffic lights that it detected prior. So now what we're going to do is train the data set, or actually we're going to separate them so that we know which is which. So what we need to do is create a folder called traffic light dataset. Here we go. And then we're going to create 4 folders labeled like this: green, yellow, red, and not. Here I give an example of each and what to fill in. So like for green, fill it up for like with good pictures representing a green traffic light. This is what I put here. And then so on, yellow, red, and something that you would consider not a traffic light, such as the back of it. Next, we're going to do the training, and for this we need to add another file, the train traffic light color.py, and I already have it here. So now we need to run this command, and I'll cut again to the part where it's done. I just wanted to show this is what's the program doing. It's basically saving the model to a traffic.h5 file, which we're going to use later to test it on other images. Now that it's done, it has generated a model accuracy figure. And we can see here the accuracy and validation loss. So we can see the validation dataset has been saved, and we have this traffic.h5 file now. So now we're going to test it on other images. So we see test images here, a couple of them that I have. Just going to delete my previous run of this program and run this. In this one, we're going to need a detect traffic light color image.py, and then we're going to have to create a new folder called test images, as we can see here. And I have a couple of photos from Google. And then we're going to run this command. Now that it's done, we can see that it generated a couple of pictures for the 2 images that I gave it. And it detects like the red traffic lights. Some of them are not as accurate because I believe my dataset is not very extensive. For example, the dataset here, it's not that many items, especially yellow. I could not find that many yellow lights, so that's why like not everything is very accurate. But we can see some red photos, red traffic lights here, and then for this one we can see green with a accuracy of 99 over here, and that's it.
All right, that concludes our presentation. The feedback we received for the midterm presentation was to go ahead and focus on one subtopic instead of the broad term of computer vision. So what we went ahead and focused on, as you can see through our presentation, was object detection. What it really boils down to, why we selected that, was just safety overall. There's lots of things that we need to see with our eyes whenever we're driving. So that means a computer is going to have to work way harder just to see things and detect different objects, whether that's a stop sign so the car can stop, or a green light so it can go, or a person walking in the middle of the road. The way we calculate all this and identify these objects through these different networks, the outputs are very similar, but the way we get them can be vastly different. There's lots of different detection algorithms. There's two stage, one stage. For two stage, we have the RCNN and faster RCNN, along with others. And for single one stage object detection algorithms, we have YOLO, SSD, along with many others as well.